I'm about to end this man's whole career.
And you've seen games that can only be enjoyed with the full range of PlayStation 5's features and power. At PlayStation, we believe in generational transitions, and we put years of work into making them happen. We want you to enjoy the unique benefits of moving from one generation to the next.
Hello YouTube, it's your host Axel Rose, the Shogun with the slogan, and you are now watching MVP Magazine. And yes people, the PlayStation 5 has finally been unveiled, and as you can tell by the excitement and enthusiasm in my voice, I definitely think Sony did a good job. Now, this video here is going to be a quick recap and reaction to the PlayStation conference overall, because I'm not going to lie, that was less of a reveal and more of a wish list. That just began looking like a wish list halfway through. It's like, hey, what PlayStation franchise you want to see? Dark Souls? Demon Souls, we got that. Hey, what about Ratchet and Clank? We got that too. Do you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. They were firing shots. Like, it was really hilarious the way they fired shots at Microsoft at the end. We're going to definitely get back to that. But first, let's go over some of the games, what they had on store. Like, I'm still calming down from it, like, myself right now. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's look at the games. And yeah, holla at your boy. Now, first up was the return of a long-standing PlayStation favorite, Gran Turismo. Now, even though Forza has definitely done its thing over this generation and stepped into a position to finally be able to challenge Gran Turismo, there's only one king. And the sales and the legacy speak louder than any fanboy in my comment section. And it is so great to not only see Gran Turismo come back, but to finally lead the PlayStation as far as exclusives. Usually Gran Turismo is something we have to wait for in, usually towards the mid or the end of the generation when, Sony want to spike up their sales. But no, it's here right from the beginning, looking stunning and looking breathtaking as it always does. As a UK racing fan, I am really glad to see Gran Turismo go right back to the racing block, and stunning graphics. What more is there to really say? It's Gran Turismo. It's the king of racing games. There's no other king. I don't even want to hear anything about Forza. Look at the sales. Look at the legacy. Let's go. Gran Turismo's back, baby. Now, whenever is more Resident Evil a bad thing? Okay, let me totally rephrase that. Whenever is mainstay Resident Evil a bad thing? There we go. And it's so awesome to see the franchise return to the place where it started, on a PlayStation. Now, one of the things which is really awesome about this, like this whole reveal here, is that it's running in-game graphics, no CGI bull nonsense, finalized hardware. This is probably what we're going to be getting when the game releases. And being that this is the 8th in the series, hopefully we will see some kind of major improvement. Now, the setting has returned to, the whole village setup of Resident Evil 4. And I know there's going to be some cool callbacks. But this time we're going there as Chris instead of Leon. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I'm on the edge of my seat, as I'm sure what Capcom want. And yeah, Resident Evil 8. The return, baby. Now, I'm sure that nobody was expecting a SpiderMan game for the launch of the PlayStation 5, but yet here it is. And it's starring my boy Miles Morales. So I can finally quit complaining about how I would have loved him to be a playable character in the last Spider-Man game. Now, I'm currently expecting this game to pick up where the last story left off, with Miles Morales finally getting his powers and, you know, being put through his paces. Now, this is going to be really interesting to see what happens as for a third Spider-Man game. Will we play as both Peter and Miles? That will be awesome. Now, even though this game is pretty much a shock to be coming out so soon, when you think about it, the game engine and the logic and the AI already exist. The city of New York is already there. It's not like it's going to take place in a completely different city. So having this game come out so soon isn't that surprising. But man, it definitely is amazing. Sorry for that pun. Sorry. Now, I definitely reckon this is going to be something along the lines of Infamous First Light, where it's still going to be a full fat experience, but it's just based on something we already had, a game engine that is already existing, which is not a problem to me, because more Spider-Man is a good thing. Now, to me personally, this was the game that, oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this. To me personally, this was the most hypest thing that I saw, because like just seeing the level of fidelity in the graphic, like this literally looks like a CGI movie. This game moved me to tears. This game took me back to when I first saw Super Mario 3, that advert back in the day. You know, when the kids are like, Mario, Mario, just screaming. This took me right back to that, because never look at the ray tracing, look at the lighting. This legitimately looks like Pixar quality graphical fidelity. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Like, this game literally looks like it needs a SSD drive, just because the levels they're appearing right in front of your face, and you can pull the level closer to you. You can warp into different levels. Like, what is this? Like, what is this? And this actual gameplay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh gee. What? No. Look at this. Like, for real. No, sorry, dog. No. Like, this game makes me want to have kids so I can have an excuse to play this. You know, like, no. Like, no. Sorry. None of this makes any sense what I'm saying. But trust me, this game is... look at this! Yes. Yes. This Ratchet and Clank looks like it's going to be... like, as far as gameplay is concerned, it definitely looks like it's going to have the same run and gun gameplay we all know and love. But it just looks like, as far as traversing the levels and the levels themselves, it looks like they've definitely taken steps to do some major innovations, which is great to see, because they could have just given us Ratchet and Clank with better graphics, but they didn't. They gave us whatever this is, and it's awesome. Now, don't quote me on this, but I'm not exactly sure, but this game here looks like it may be the return of the Destruction franchise. Now, for all my earlier PlayStation gamers who were there from the beginning, you may remember the game Destruction Derby and its sequel Destruction Derby 2. Now, both games were immensely huge because they were the first real car combat games, which the point of winning a race wasn't exactly to race, it was more or less to survive it in one piece and to do as much damage to your opponent as possible. And now it seems this returns with a crazy kind of battle royale-ish flair. And I'm not gonna lie, everything so far looks very interesting. Not sure if it's for me, and that's only because I don't know what's going on gameplay wise. Anything could be happening, but it definitely looks like something I want to try, and it definitely looks like Sony are doing what they need to do to get their hands more embedded and engraved in a multiplayer arena. They need more multiplayer games which are just theirs on their console to make sure you're locked into that PlayStation ecosystem. And this looks like it's got that kind of Fortnite-y, Apex-y vibe, which, hey, could see it through. Very interested to see where this goes. Now, even though Ratchet and Clank did have a profound effect on me, this was my game of show. Like, this game literally made me scream. I wish I was lying, but I am not. Demon's Souls, the progenitor, the original, the one and only, is returning. Now, yes, I would have, maybe have liked a sequel, but I'm cool with this. I remember playing this game when it came out in 2009 and being frustrated as heck, but deeply in love with its gameplay and its lore and its moody atmosphere, and I really would like to see what a graphical upgrade would bring to such a game. I mean, this game is where it all began, basically. So yeah, really happy that this should be coming for launch period. And whew, Sony, what are you doing? Slow down. This game is just looking too beastly. If they manage to get this game out for day one, I really, really will be surprised. I mean, this is looking awesome. The only drawback I could take away from this is that this wasn't a sequel. Like, when I originally saw it, I was like, okay, Demon Souls, okay, looking for a 2. Looking for a 2. Is there going to be a 2 on that? Oh, man. But I was still happy. Now, honestly, straight up, Sony had an amazing reveal yesterday. Straight up. Like, I'm sure nobody was expecting to see so many exclusive titles. Nobody was expected to see more than 2 exclusive titles, especially with gameplay. Look at the beginning of the PlayStation 4's generation, arguably the most successful PlayStation console to exist. And that only had 2 exclusives. And right now, Sony are leading with about 5. Like 5 of these games were bona fide PlayStation 5. Like, I think more than 5. Like, there was games that I specifically didn't go into because I'm going to tackle them with the rest of the team on my PlayStation podcast. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But like Sony, and we all know that usually Sony starts slow and then they ramp up. So the real meat and potatoes aren't even close to arriving yet. We are literally still chilling with the appetizers. Sony didn't even go into the main features of the console, the interface, or anything, and they legitimately have people ready to buy this console already. As far as what the console looks like, it looks beautiful, it looks sleek, it does kind of look like Cell from Dragon Ball Z is, chilling with a new hat. But that being said, I am still a fan of the unique aerodynamic design of the PlayStation 5. Now, I am very, very concerned about the fact that it's so sleek, maybe causing some ventilation issues. Hopefully, we don't get any red ring of deaths or, super loud PlayStation 5s and stuff because it's so small. But man, like this looks really, really beautiful. I mean, very sleek, very aerodynamic design, much like the PlayStation 4. It's an amazing successor, and I think Sony did everything they needed to do. Very, very, very well done, Sony. Let me know what you think of this reveal. Like, we will be doing, my friends and I, we will definitely be doing a recap and just a more in-depth look at the reveal because I didn't go into everything. Thank you for rocking out with your channel. Please make sure you give a like because it makes the channel more visible. And yeah, PlayStation 5, the future of gaming. Sayonara.